Welcome to this online 4-race edit of the Mini GP70 class from round 5 at Whilton Mill of the Cool FAB-Racing British Minibikes Championship. The race commentary recorded live on the day by Downforce Radio's Tom Brooks.
So Blake Ansell on pole position, alongside him is Scott Ogden, who will get the blast down towards turn 1. Blast off and we go. It's a good start then from Blake Ansell. He leads down towards the first corner. Scott Ogden just holds on for second place. Meanwhile, an absolute barnstormer of a start for Josh Watley. He's up into third place after starting in 5th position. Incredible getaway from the number 70. He's up into the podium already. Franco Bourne in 4th. Oscar Pinson in 5th place. You'd mistake him for his brother any day of the week on that motorcycle, and you can really see why. He's looking more comfortable than ever. Will he be able to hold on there? And Liam Bassett as well, having a great start. He started in 9th place and he must be up into 6th position by now. That's a blinding getaway for the number 64 on the yellow and black machine. Closely followed by Cameron Hall on the number 8 machine is Liam Bassett, as the riders come through to finish their first lap already. Brilliant to see as Blake Ansell comes across the timing line and already has a distinct advantage over the rest of the field. A second is the gap between himself and Scott Ogden. Franco Bourne in 3rd place. Josh Watley up now into 4th place as Bourne has got himself ahead of Watley on that last part of the lap, which is really wonderful to see. So Ansell out in front with a second's advantage. Really great racing going on further down the field as well. Earl Stevenson really lost out, unfortunately, on that start. But we often see there's some great battles towards the tail end of the field in Cool FAB-Racing, and I'm sure that this is going to be no exception. Let's wait and find out how things go. But Ansell out in front, though. He's already heading into the boot in comparison. Scott Ogden, it's still around about a second and a half, maybe nearly 2 seconds behind now. So Ansell has got the bit between his teeth and could be on to take his first ever victory within the Mini GP70 class. Let's wait and find out. Will he be able to get the podium position medal? Will he be able to take the glass of cool milk here at Whilton Mill in Daventry? It'll be very interesting to find out. Just 11 riders competing in this, but still some great battles going on, like 9th place between Earl Stevenson and Callum Wybrow. Earl Stevenson into 9th place. Callum Wybrow now down into 10th position. Blake Ansell with the fastest lap last time around. 2 seconds the advantage back to 2nd place. Oscar Pinson in 5th place as well, having a good run on that Medikit GP70. Bit of a gap back to Liam Bassett and a bit of a gap in front of him as well, up to Josh Watley. And Watley looks to not necessarily have the pace this weekend for some reason or another. I'll have to try and chat with him and find out what's going on. But normally he's at the sharp end of the grid every single weekend, but for some reason it's just not all gelling with him at the moment, unfortunately. Maybe they're trying out some new bits on his bike. They've got some new fairies on the bike and they look very smart indeed. A nice grey and blue colour scheme matches his old leathers that he uses, in comparison to the ones he races in Spain with, which are brand spanking new. You don't want to be sending down the road here, that's for sure. Ansell, though, out in front, looking comfortable, more comfortable than ever, more confident than ever. 3 seconds now the advantage. He's putting out at the rate of a second a lap, and his lap times are a second faster, funnily enough, as well, compared to his nearest rival of Scott Ogden. And Ogden has been looking mightily quick, actually, this weekend as well, especially within the Mini GP50 class. It's a shame it didn't all come together for him due to that poor start that he made, but still plenty of races to come, plenty of time to do it. And a podium position is not to be snuffed at all. Oscar Pinson holding on to 5th place very nicely indeed. 2 seconds separating himself and Liam Bassett. Cameron Hall, meanwhile, is less than a second behind Liam Bassett, so we'll have to keep an eye on that battle as it continues onwards. Meanwhile, the old battle of Felix Hearn and Callum Wybrow, that's been going on all season long, and you can't separate them on track at all. And here is no exception at all at Whilton Mill. They are so close on circuit. Across the line comes Callum Wybrow in towards the first corner, closely followed by Felix Hearn on the number 28 once again. All a learning curve for these riders. A lot of them, it's their first year within the Mini GP70 class. Most of them competed within the Mini GP50's last year, or perhaps another class, or perhaps have come over from another series. And really great to see them making a lot of progress as well. More fantastic racing on the way, of course, in Cool FAB-Racing. Let us know who you're supporting today at Downforce Radio on Facebook. Hang on a minute, other way around, at Downforce Radio on Twitter, facebook.com/Downforce Radio. If you want to get in touch with us via that medium, let us know that you're listening in this afternoon. It really would be wonderful to hear from you. You can get in touch and chat to us. Tell us who you're supporting, tell us who you're cheering on. Use the hashtag Cool FAB-Racing as well. It makes us that little bit easier to find your tweets and your mentions and the like. And if you're on Facebook as well, why not have a look at our live video stream? You can look at my face in the commentary box and hear the fantastic stereo audio quality of Cool FAB-Racing, thanks to our sound producer, Lester Forbes, who is standing to my right-hand side. If you're on the stream, you'll have seen that. If you're not and you're watching at the circuit, then you won't have seen that, obviously. But nonetheless, back to the racing in hand. Josh Whatley, personal best lap last time around, 53.7. In comparison, the fastest lap from Blake Ansell, 51.9 rather, I should say. And his fastest lap last time around was still 0.8 of a second quicker than Scott Ogden's, even though it wasn't a personal fastest lap for Blake Ansell. Incredible, just incredible pace that Blake Ansell has got. His consistency this weekend has been in a different league. We spoke to John Ansell, Uncle Ansell, recently, and I can see him watching trackside, and he will be very, very proud of his nephew if he can finish in that position and take his first ever victory in the Mini GP70 class. Of course, he'll be racing later on this afternoon in the Pit Bike Open race, which will come along the way after the AC40 Pros. AC40 Pros straight after the Mini GP70's. Then we'll go into the Pit Bike Open race, so not a chance of a moment's rest for Blake Ansell. But we'll definitely get him up in the commentary box at some point this weekend to have a chat with us and find out how he's feeling this weekend. It really is his race to lose. His advantage now 6.2 seconds. The man is on fire. Unbelievable. His lap time last time around at 52.2. In comparison, Scott Ogden with his fastest lap of the weekend at 52.9. Incredible performance, incredible pace, 6.2 seconds. Franco Bourne in third place as well. His lap time's broadly similar to that of Scott Ogden in front of him, if not a little bit faster sometimes. Josh Whatley holding on to fourth place once again. He's having a bit of a lonely race there, really. Quite a gap back to Oscar Pinson, so it's all about the points and the championship for Josh Whatley. His family are very much racing oriented, of course, with sister Saffron racing in the AC40 categories and the junior LC40 categories as well. Really great to see her doing so well and having such a good run, and hopefully we'll see her back out on the Mini GP50 Metro kit at some point later on this season. 8 laps now completed by the riders, and Blake Ansell, every lap, I'm sure, will feel like the longest lap in the world. Meanwhile, Felix Hearn gets himself ahead of Callum Wybrow. Finally, those two have been battling ding-dong for 10th place over the last couple of laps, and that is a great, great race to be able to see. And my apologies, actually, because it's Felix Hearn actually unlapping himself, unfortunately, because Callum Wybrow has actually completed 7 laps, whilst Felix Hearn on my timing screen apparently has only completed 4, so some kind of an issue that Felix Hearn has suffered with. Hopefully he'll get that sorted by the time the race is done. Earl Stevenson in 9th place as well. That'll be a good result for him. See how he can hold on there. Plenty of time for things to be changing, though. Blake Ansell still out in front, meanwhile, setting fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap. I don't think that boy knows anything but flat out, and he's put a lap on almost the entirety of the field. I don't think he'll quite get to Josh Whatley, unfortunately, but nonetheless, he is having a good run so far within this race, and I'm sure he'll be very pleased with this result if he can hold on to that position. Franco Bourne, a good podium it would be as well, and it's all important for the championship in the Mini GP70 class, of course, so I'll have to wait and see how things go. Plenty of time for everything to be disrupted and everything to change, though. That's what happens in motor racing. In terms of the Mini GP70 Championship, it is Franco Bourne who leads the way, of course, with 2 victories in the last 2 races. At Clandau, of course, for round 4, he leads the way on 215 points in comparison to Blake Ansell on 184 points. Scott Ogden in 3rd place on 171, so this would see, I believe, the top 2 staying the same in terms of positions because of Franco Bourne's position, but nonetheless the points championship margin closing significantly. And Josh Whatley, meanwhile, what he really needed today was a victory to be able to try and get himself back up into that championship fight, but unfortunately it's not going to be for Josh Whatley unless some kind of a miracle happens. Just doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment for whatever reason, unfortunately. I'll have to chat to him and find out what his secret is, though. So final lap board being displayed then. So last lap for these riders to be completing. Blake Ansell rounds the final corner. He's on his final lap's worth of racing. My apologies, he's actually already past his final lap's worth of racing. Into Ashby goes the number 20. He'll be very, very pleased with this result indeed. Scott Ogden, second place. Franco Bourne, third position. Josh Watley in fourth place. We haven't seen the normal sort of Titanic battles we often see within mini GP70's, but nonetheless, it has proven to be very, very entertaining. Blake Ansell, though, meanwhile, comes around the boot for the final time. It is going to be, as he goes through pit bend, Blake Ansell, who takes his first ever victory in the Mini GP70 class. What a win for the number 20. He will be absolutely ecstatic and the family will be very, very pleased. Blake Ansell takes his first ever victory in Mini GP70s, his first victory of the season, and moves that little bit closer to trying to take the championship lead away from Franco Bourne. Scott Ogden finishes 9.5 seconds back in second place. A great podium for the number 19. He's had cracking pace all weekend, and that's backed up by that result. Franco Bourne in third place. Josh Watley holds on for a good fourth place ahead of Oscar Pinson in fifth. Liam Bassett will come home in sixth place. Jay Abel as well will finish in seventh position. He'll be very pleased with that. Will the number 303. Cameron Hall in 8th place, Earl Stevenson in 9th, Callum Wybrow rounding up the top 10, and then Felix Hearn in 11th position. But Blake Ansell, what a race it has been. He will be ecstatic.